station.
I heartily endorse this event or product.
Say, kids, what time is it?
This is the Bob and Jeff Show, starring Jeff Lutz.
Soak it in, boys and girls.
I know, so weird, but you know the heart wants what the heart wants.
And Jason Duda.
Soak it in.
Stop it! You people are supposed to be funny and wacky.
97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Showtime. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
Ready.
Hello again, everybody. Welcome a Thursday edition, the Bob and Jeff Show here on KFH Radio. It's the three-man booth with Jason Duda today. Jeff is in as well, and a visitor from the South, our former producer and engineer, Tom Thurber, stopped by. Detroit Tigers fan, and we got a Cleveland Guardians fan. Now, they're not meeting in the next round, but divisional rivals, still in the American League playoffs.
Of course they're meeting in the next round.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. So how you two...
I don't know. He's over here looking at baseball stuff and scores and trying to rub it in. You know that's the only reason he showed up today. When has he ever shown up to this place?
Well, why aren't you rubbing it in?
I don't need to rub it in. I've already advanced. I don't.
Jeff's above that, Bob.
I am so above that.
He is so above it.
Don't you know me?
The reaction he's getting is certainly validating. Good job, Tom.
I don't like it. We did hug. I did swear at him. It's been the range of emotions so far today.
Well, you said yesterday that you don't feel great about playing them.
No, I just don't, because it's hard to explain. I can't really explain it, but it's just like you lull yourself into this false sense of security because it's the Tigers and it's this team you've been beating up on for the last 4 or 5 years, and they haven't really been that good. And here all of a sudden they are, and you don't want to hey, we'll beat this team. It's the Tigers. We've beaten them forever. It's like you can't really have that mentality, but it also just kind of feels like another game against the Tigers. I don't know how to feel. I don't know what to think.
Is that really it, or is it just the fact that you know right now the Tigers are better than the Guardians?
They might prove to be better than the Guardians.
Simple question.
But as I'm saying, like I said,
neutral here.
The Tigers have not been a playoff contender for a few seasons. Even Tommy, you would admit to that. So is it? How do you get yourself up for a game?
What are you so wound up
against
about?
A team that has been losing
Calm
forever?
down. I mean, gee, Christmas.
And then
have a civil
it
conversation.
might be the Royals.
Well, it might be the Royals.
This division is taking people by storm.
There's no team in baseball that has the starting pitching of the Royals.
Who cares? I mean,
what do you mean? What do you mean? Who cares?
They haven't scored any runs. Their bullpen has been better.
I didn't say anything about anything else.
Starting pitching in the postseason is overblown. You go
I think
with
Baltimore might disagree.
You go with your best, right? You do. If Cleveland's best is its bullpen, it'll go to the bullpen more often than it'll go to the starters. If the Yankees' best is the offense, it'll try to get to starters early and be aggressive. It's just you do what you do best. You do what got you there. And
why are you so wound up?
Because I don't like these characterizations. Like you just say, "Oh, the Royals." Okay, they do have really good starting pitching. There's no question about that.
That's all I said. But did I said of the teams remaining, the Royals have the best starting pitching.
True.
And they went into Baltimore and absolutely shut down.
Yeah,
the Orioles.
I've never seen a team more finished than the Orioles. They weren't. Well, congrats to the Royals.
Cleveland in a couple days.
Congrats to the Royals. They earned it. They deserved it. But I was watching those two games. The Orioles had nothing. Did you see? You probably didn't even notice it. There was a pitch in the fourth inning that was a strike at the bottom of the zone, and Rutschman just kind of dropped his glove. Didn't even try to get a strike call out of it. They didn't run hard to the bases. They didn't run hard in the outfield. It's just like this team is finished.
Thoughts on listening to that diatribe?
It's awesome. I want to hear more. Break down the Tigers.
Tigers are gritty. They're tough. I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
They've got Tarek Skubal, and what did they do yesterday? They went to a bullpen game. Why? Because that's what they do best. They didn't feel like their best was going to Casey Mize as the starter or whoever. They went to 8 or 9 pitchers or however many they used. You got to just try to win the game in front of you.
Love it. He's breaking it down. Wow.
It's pretty good,
What
isn't
about
it?
the Padres?
Then I watched a little bit of the
Padres
Padres.
are going to win it all.
Padres took advantage of a team that was also finished for different reasons. It wasn't an effort thing with the Braves. They just had too many injuries.
Well, the Padres are really good.
Of course, they're really good.
And they got their pitcher hurt yesterday, and they made it work, and they've got a great bullpen and really good offense. And King is an elite starting pitcher now, in my opinion.
Sure.
And Dylan Cease, when you have Dylan Cease and King, that rivals the Royals. Listen, I'm not going to be – nobody should be shocked now if the Royals get to the World Series. They are that kind of team. They have that feel.
Well,
now, maybe I'll look at Cleveland in this series against Detroit, and maybe they'll blow me away.
Probably not. It'll probably be a similar series to what the Royals already had, to what the Tigers already had, to what the Guardians have been accustomed to throughout the season. Just hope you get it to the bullpen. Like I said, you do what you do best. Can you score
Are you sensing any confidence, or is this...
No, it's just the same as usual. It's just a roller coaster he's on with this team.
Can you score 2 and hand it to your bullpen? That's what the Guardians are trying to do. The Tigers are trying to pitch Skubal in 2 games and win both of those games and piece it together after that. The Royals are trying to not let Aaron Judge beat you. The Yankees are trying to not let Bobby Witt beat you. This is pretty easy when you look at these matchups. What is each team trying to do here?
Why are we going to watch? I mean, you think you've broken it down. Let me tell you
it's
now.
a success. Will they have success doing it?
The Yankees are going to have to pull out all stops to beat Kansas City. I'm just going to say it.
I don't know about all stops.
I don't know about that because Kansas City can't score, and you got Judge and Soto.
You watch Kansas City.
Bob, let's be
where
honest.
Their run's going to come from?
Yeah, exactly. I
They're
mean,
not
if the
going to let
Yankees,
Bobby Witt beat them like Baltimore did.
if the Yankees score 4 runs, the Royals are in trouble.
I don't agree.
The Royals are in trouble right now.
I don't agree.
I think it'll be a great series.
The Yankees have one elite starting pitcher who hasn't had a great year in Garrett Cole.
But Rodon's been pretty good.
He's okay.
They've got other guys.
No, they really don't.
Their pitching's not that good. I don't think their pitching's that good.
I mean, the Cardinals went in there and scored about 70 runs, and for the season they scored 77. So that tells you something. I like the Royals, and I like the Guardians only because I don't know how Detroit wins a 5-game series, piecing it together pitching-wise.
That's what Cleveland's going to have to do.
I like the Padres, and I think the Brewers are going to win tonight. I really do.
What's that pitching matchup? They're going with Tobias Myers. Milwaukee is. Might be Quintana.
I think it's Quintana.
You got to be Quintana. And you're seeing a superstar develop before your very eyes in Jackson Churio for the Brewers, who hit two. Was it game-tying or go-ahead home runs yesterday?
He tied it yesterday. And Mitchell hit the go-ahead. But, yeah, that was a pretty exciting inning for the Brewers.
Sure like to have a player like that.
Well, you did. You just ruined all of them.
Who's that?
Jordan Walker.
I haven't ruined anybody.
Yeah, you
I'll
did.
knock you out. Next time you bring my team into it,
Well, you said it.
brought
You
him
brought
up.
the team into
I'll
it.
knock both of you out.
Well, that's fine. You might
both
get
played-
to
you
you might
both-
get to one of us, but there's no way you're going to get to
I don't
both.
know. You both played catch for 5 minutes and came in here huffing and puffing
We
like,
played for about 10, 12 minutes.
I think it was more like 15 or 16, but
my God.
Yeah, and we
Go out there and play catch for an hour.
Well, it wasn't. We had to go take care of security and stuff, so
exactly. We had to lock your door. We
we
had
had to do some stuff before that.
move things
So
around.
do you feel good about your team?
I don't know how to feel. I feel ready. I want to see what they're going to bring on Saturday. It's a day game, which again kind of lessens the postseason feel of it. It's on True TV, TBS. We'll see. I'm confident.
Where are you
like
going to watch the game?
home.
Not going to come by?
No, but Monday we got big problems.
Well, they play during the show.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Well, you could have it on
But
during
not
the show.
till 3.
Yeah, that's a whole hour.
It won't
I'll
even be an hour.
I'll be
You can
gripping.
watch part
You
of
want to
it.
do the show? I can't.
I can't.
Why not?
Avery's got her league tennis tournament.
Okay, things are starting to wrap up in the fall for you.
They are.
League tennis tournament, Monday.
Yeah, and then
Where's that at?
Regionals on Thursday.
Where's the league meet?
Salina.
Oof.
Oh, wow. Driving up to Salina.
Yeah.
It's going to be 90 degrees still.
I know. Why is it so hot now again?
Brutal.
I hate it.
Brutal out there.
It stinks. Come on.
Supposed to cool off on the weekend a little bit.
No, it's not. It's supposed to be like 91 on Saturday or something.
Listen, that's cooling off a little bit.
That's not cooling off enough.
I need to get my AC repaired.
Well, you better get that going.
And we're taking
I
steps
thought
to do
you were
that.
doing that.
No, the guy who came out gave us an absurd estimate, so we had to go elsewhere. And now we've got it squared away.
Well, that's good.
Now we've got it squared away.
Yeah, I'm the one who took care of it.
Really?
Of course. I was the one there yesterday. When the guy came out, I said, yeah, that's a good deal, man. Thanks. Appreciate you. We'll see you then on next week, and we'll sign right
You
there.
didn't have to call your wife.
About what?
Which means he did.
No, he...
No, you did.
Not
That's okay.
Not about that, but he wanted to know how much refrigerant our AC using. I didn't know. I said, well, maybe Shannon knows. You can give her a call. But she didn't know either. So I felt better.
Well, who would know how
turns
much
out,
refrigerant your AC uses? Who would know that?
I don't know. The guy...
Did he know that?
He came out.
I mean, my answer to that would be...
The guy I'm calling.
Wait a minute. What do you do?
Yeah, he wasn't there yet. He just needed to know how much to bring, or I don't know. But it turns out 9 pounds of refrigerant is what our AC unit takes.
Well, how'd you communicate that to him?
He was there.
Couldn't he have waited till he got there and just figured it out?
I don't know. I
Can't
guess
you
not.
bring a extra refrigerant?
I don't know. He didn't even repair. I don't know. I don't know why he
And
needed.
he didn't
to know.
repair. It's not fixed.
yet because
So why was he out?
To do an estimate.
But now you know how much refrigerant.
Yeah, which may come in handy someday, or it may
Did he
not.
have the refrigerant with him?
No idea. I don't know why he
What
needed
did you take care of exactly?
getting the guy scheduled, being there when he was there, talking through things. Yeah, sounds
I would have loved to have
about
heard that
right.
conversation.
He was a nice guy. The cats warmed up to him. It was beautiful.
Well, there you go.
Good job, Jeff.
Thank you.
869-1240.
I am a little amped up today.
The
Huh?
IHOP hotline. We got a busy show for you today. Brandon Clark, the head football coach at Derby High, my alma mater. I can't wait to talk to him. 2:25, that'll happen. We might have our best team ever this year.
Really?
That's the talk I'm hearing.
Wow.
They're just blowing out everybody, including Mays.
Oh, I can't wait.
Everybody's
I gotta
blowing
ask
out
him.
Mays.
I got to ask him about that. How did they let him score 7 points?
I mean, they just at 2:45, Jalen Thompson from the Kansas City Star. He's going to be at an airport waiting to head to New York for the American League Divisional Series between the Royals and the Yankees. Of course, he covers the Royals for the Kansas City Star. He'll join us to talk about that series. And then we've got picks coming up. Hour number 2, Jeff solidifying his lead in the picks. The big fella moved into second place. Duda and Max, I think this was the case last year as well. Just so abysmal.
It's too bad. You can't be doing single-digit points every week or negatives.
I'll wait, and I'll come back and have a 30-40 week this week. And
Are you going to go 10 on your bonus game?
Yeah, I already know. That's the easiest one of the 9, as far as I'm concerned.
I don't think so.
Out of the 9 that are out there, they're all tough, except for that one.
I thought
Honestly, let me put them all on that, or you can minus the whole shebang.
the whole slate was pretty easy this week.
No.
I didn't have much problems picking,
That's good.
which probably means I'll be terrible.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think any game in the NFL is just easy.
There's one on there that
You
shouldn't be
can't
too
tell.
tough.
Well, there's one. I agree with you, but it's not that one.
And there's a college game or two that, come on.
Well, I don't know what they'd be.
Let's just say my high picks this week were pretty easy.
All right, we'll see how you do.
I can't go 10 on the bonus. There's no way.
We'll see how you do.
I got too much to lose, dudes.
I'm not going 10.
No, I
Game
can't.
worries me.
That's the easiest one out of all 9.
Dude,
How do you
Dude, you're
call
you're
that
in last
easy?
place. Sorry if we don't exactly.
I'm not in last.
You are in last.
I want to recount.
5th. You're in fifth.
Sorry if we don't hold what you say in much esteem, but you can have your opinion.
Yeah, that's right. I will have my opinion during picks.
Of course,
I'll let
you
you
can.
know.
So only one baseball game tonight, but it'll be a good one. That crowd in Milwaukee's fun, and the Mets are fun. Did I just say that?
Yep.
I've
Are the Mets
historically
fun?
not liked the Mets, but that's kind of a fun team they have.
A little
Mets
bit.
win tonight. Vientos and Lindor both homer. There you go. Game over. Done.
Are those guys on your fantasy team?
No, I don't got either one of them.
How do you know who they are? You don't
a
watch.
good
You don't watch
question.
baseball.
That's a good
Will
question.
you watch the game?
I'm going to a soccer game tonight.
Yeah, but that'll get over.
And then when I get
Somebody
home,
else
I'll
He's gonna watch the football game. You made him say it. I knew exactly where
Yeah.
he was going. You
Too
should have
easy.
just let him say he was going.
You're
to
not
the
going to
soccer
watch
game.
a deciding game in the baseball playoffs.
During commercials.
What's the football game? I don't-
Tampa, Atlanta.
Oh God,
Oh, it'd be a doozy.
He's got his Bucks old colors on.
I can't believe you're going to watch that.
Yeah, I got a bunch of guys going playing you in fantasy tonight, so I want it to be over by tomorrow morning. It's pretty simple.
You got a bunch of guys.
And you
going
watching is going to
London and
is
Godwin.
going to help with that
well, what me watching the baseball game is going to help with who wins that?
because there's something riding on the baseball.
Well, there's something riding on the football game too.
You act like you're some heavy hitter.
I just
Like you got
saying.
a lot of money or something.
I'm not saying I don't got no money on the game.
Well, then what's riding on it?
Why are you so bad at our picks, at our fantasy, and then every time I'm winning my baseball league, I'm winning my football league back home? I'm kind of the same way. I'm dominating 2 money leagues in fantasy football, but here I stink. What's the deal?
I don't know. It's interesting.
You're intimidated.
I'm okay stinking here if I'm winning the other ones.
Yeah, me too, I
I'll
guess.
get over it. I get over it really quick.
I don't think you're winning the other one. I really don't.
Really?
I think
Okay.
it's all a fabrication. I don't think Jeff's winning anything.
Oh, I'm doing so good. I had the high score last week in both of those leagues.
What's your record?
3-1 and 4-0.
Really?
Yes.
What are you playing against a bunch of morons?
Kinda, yeah, the media league.
Well, don't call your fellow
not to
media.
disparage Taylor Eldridge, Matt Henderson, T.J. Cleveland, Brandon Zenner, Sully Ingalls, Joe Baker.
What are you
Not to
calling them a
not
bunch
to
of
disparage
morons?
those
for?
morons,
Who's
but
Joe Baker?
he used to work at Channel 12. Now he's training to become a pilot. Sully Ingalls is not in the market anymore. Taylor obviously is still here. Matt Henderson works at Cake. Hendo, we remember him fondly as.
I guess. I thought Hendo, I don't know, did a fine job.
Oh, didn't he?
All those people do excellent work.
Absolutely.
And they deserve better than to be called morons.
I think you called them morons.
No, I said, what morons are you playing against? And you proceeded to tell me.
So you suggested that they were morons. All I did was attach names to them, right, dude?
Certainly not morons.
Yeah, I think yours was worse there because you actually did attach the names to it,
That's
to
unfortunate.
the morons, which isn't as good as just generalizing it.
Fair.
Tommy, you want to say anything before we go to break about how you feel about this Tigers Guardians series?
Take the mic, Tom. No, I'm good. Oh, my God.
Ah, for crying out loud! Throw a little wood on the fire. That's
Gas
what
it
we
up.
got. We don't have Cardinals because we're not in it, so I can't get on any roll there.
Nope.
But we do have Tigers Guardians, Royals Yankees. I think it's a phenomenal postseason.
Dodgers,
Those
Padres.
are two great matchups. Well, the American League is off the charts intriguing. Dodgers Padres we've had before.
There has never been a Cleveland Cleveland versus Detroit baseball playoff series. Can you believe that?
We haven't had that.
Ever.
And we haven't had the Yankees Royals since the 70s. And as I said on the show yesterday, those were some of the most legendary matchups in the history of baseball when those two teams collided.
Of course.
With Billy Martin and Dick Howser and all that unbelievable.
Even the
drama.
Pine Tar game, not a playoff game, but that was
That
against
wasn't
the
a playoff
Yankees.
game.
I'm saying you've got moments of history between those two teams, and you do between obviously Cleveland and Detroit, but just not in the postseason. What a segment for me this was.
That was unbelievable. Unbelievable.
This was about as good as it gets.
Yeah,
I
for
should
you?
take,
Yeah, it
I should
was.
take a day off every week. Is that the solution?
Maybe that is.
All right, time for a break. When we come back, we'll talk with a real winner, Brandon Clark, head football coach at Derby. Stay with us, the Bob and Jeff Show, KFH. Hey, Brandon.
Hey, Bob. How you doing?
We're doing well. Thanks for being on. You've got a road game at Hutchinson this week. I just look at your scores and I think to myself, and man, this is a powerhouse football team. This offense is rolling right now. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's our offense or defensive special teams. I think against Salina South, we were up 23-0 before our offense even got to get on the field. We had 3 special teams touchdowns and a safety before that. But our defense is doing a good job doing 3 and outs, and our special teams doing a good job of getting us good field position, and our offense is doing a decent job of getting the ball in the end zone.
So, Brandon, I pick 5 games every week for Channel 12 to be the games of the week. One of those was canceled. The average score of the other 19 was 32-15 or something like that. So none of these games have been close. And I'm putting Derby Hutch on that list tomorrow. I won't make you say it. I don't think that game's going to be close. But can you tell us?
Why would you say that?
I don't believe that it will be close. So, but can you at least tell us what challenges Hutch presents and how much fun you play them? Because traditionally, that is a team that's challenged you quite a bit.
Well, definitely. And Hutch is by far the best team we've seen on film that we've had to, watch and game plan against. They're very physical, offensively and defensively. That's kind of their brand of football. So whenever you play Hutch, your kids get to see where they, stand with a very physical football team. They do run the flex bone. They've been running that ever since I've been coaching. Do a really good job. Coach Vernon is a really good coach and really good flex bone coach. But that's a whole different brand of football offensively. So our defense has really had to get into the video and the scouting report, and it's kind of hard to replicate with our scout team because they run it so fast and they run it so well. But our scout team's done a pretty good job this week of running the flex bone plays and giving our defense a look. So they are very physical. They're very well coached up. When you run the flex bone, it's a numbers game. It's having a hat on the hat and hopefully having more people than we do on that side of the defense. So it'll be a challenge for our team this week.
And Hutch has not given up a point since its 37-7 loss to Andover Central in Week 1. So 3 consecutive shutouts. One against the Mays team, I think Duda wants to talk about.
Yeah, thanks for letting them score, by the way, Coach. That was obviously very nice of you. Speaking of the defense, we always talk about the offensive guys. Why don't you give us some of the defensive guys that you got that have been playing well for you?
Yeah, I'll tell you, our defensive line is really doing a good job of setting our linebackers up to make plays. We got Mylan Colvin over there. We have Houston Bowen and Dalton Hornback that are playing on D-line. I think collectively it could be one of the best D-lines we've ever had. And then our secondary, I think we have 2 of the best safeties in James Middlebrook and Easton Splain. Then we have Martell that's doing a really good job at corner, and we got another corner sophomore named Brayson Williams who's really stepped up this year and competed for that starting job. So then our linebackers, they're all 4 of them. They do a good job too, but we feel like this defense is pretty physical and they're really students of the game. They know what's going on. They get into their game plans, they ask coaches questions, and if they do screw up in practice, usually it's fixed by Friday.
Brandon Clark with us, longtime head football coach at Derby High School. The Panthers 4-0, ranked number 1 in the entire state of Kansas. So I'm curious. You've been there a while. You instilled a program. That program has remained highly successful during your run there. What's it like coaching at Derby now? How much? I'm trying to figure out how to word this question. You've got such a powerhouse program that you've built. Was that harder, or is it harder to maintain it, or how does this all work in your mind?
Yeah, it's gotten so big. I just kind of feel like I'm along for the ride. I've got so many good friends that I'm coaching with, so many good friends that are at the middle school coaching level, so many good friends that help run our Derby Junior football level. It's just kind of runs itself, and it allows us to concentrate on stuff that a lot of teams can't concentrate on. And culture has been my kind of burning passion, and the culture of our whole program is just not 9 through 12; it's first grade through 12th grade. Is really fun to work on. When you can start being proactive with your culture and not reactive with your culture, it makes life fun. So just watching over our kids, getting to know the kids, getting to know the families. We have so much support, so much help, volunteers that help out so much in Derby Junior football on the high school level and the middle school level. It's just, I feel like I'm kind of just along for the ride with everybody else.
Here's our friend Jalen Thompson from the Star in Kansas City. Covers the Royals. Just covered that 2-game sweep in the wild card series against Baltimore. Headed now to New York, where the Royals begin that best-of-5 series on Saturday against the Yankees. Jalen, hello. Welcome.
Hey, how you guys doing? Good to talk to you again.
We're doing well. We appreciate you doing this. We know you're busy. So I guess the first thing I'll ask you is, everybody's kind of shocked about the Tigers, the Royals. When did you first think to yourself, this Kansas City team might be for real?
Honestly, I think when they got through April and they got through May, and you kind of looked at June and you're like, you know what? This team can really pitch. If they can keep the hitting going, then there's a chance that they could be in contention. I know that's what everyone was really looking and banking on is they always have a slow start. It's always a slow April. They're always out of it. And, going through last year when they lost the 105th game, when I came on to the beat, I believe they were only had 9 wins and already had 20 losses. So I kind of got the back end of just how tough it was for them to really have a fast start. But now, seeing where they are now, I would say around the 1st of June.
Yeah, so you talked about them being able to keep their pitching going, and if they could keep their hitting going, big things can happen. And that happened for a big chunk of the season, but they have not hit much over the final couple weeks of the regular season, not a ton in the first 2 games. And, of course, you don't read too much into 2 games, but when it's part of a bigger picture. And Bobby Witt's a threat. Can anyone else in this lineup turn themselves into a threat against the Yankees? And if not, can they win games with that staff still?
Yeah, I think that they can definitely win games with the staff because you're talking about Michael Walker's going on Saturday. But then you have Cole Reagans and you have potentially Seth Lugo lined up to go as well later in the series. So you could potentially steal a game in New York and then try to win it on your home field at the K. Kauffman Stadium. But as far as the offense goes, I think the Royals have to manufacture the runs. Vinny Pasquantino came back. He had an RBI single. They missed that. When he was out, they were one of the worst teams with runs in scoring position. They just couldn't scratch across a run. So having Vinny be back in the middle of Bobby and Salvador Perez, that's a huge thing for this offense. And you're right. I think it's going to have to be an unlikely hero, an unsung hero that has to step up. Depending on who that could be. Could that be Michael Massey? He had 2 hits against the Orioles, really big, crucial hits. In those first 2 games. We'll have to see who it may be. Could it be a Hunter Renfroe? Could it be even a Tommy Pham? But it's just going to have to be someone other than the big 3 for sure.
But then they pinch hit for Michael Massey late in the game. Anyway, we'll get to that later. Go ahead, dude.
Well, but don't you think that's going to be the problem? I mean, if you're only going to score 2 or 3 runs, you're not going to beat the Yankees, even with that pitching staff. There's too much firepower there. So what's the coaching staff saying? Is it that they're worried about the Yankees offense, which you would have to be with guys like Judge and Soto in that lineup? Because that's going to put a lot of pressure on.
Name another one in that lineup. That's my. You can survive that lineup.
Verdugo. I mean, do we got to go through the whole lineup?
Well,
all right. Well, Bob disagrees, but I'm curious on what you think.
I look at it like this. The Yankees, they have tremendous power. They do. You know what Aaron Judge is going to do. You know what Juan Soto is going to do. Giancarlo Stanton is also a threat with his power. Anthony Rizzo, who you guys mentioned Verdugo and whatnot. But you also have to look at the Yankees have a lot of swing and miss, too. So if the Royals can pitch the way they pitched the first 2 games against the Orioles, and Michael Wacha, who, if you look at his numbers since in the second half of the season after the All-Star break, he's been outstanding, one of the best pitchers in the league. I believe he has like a 2.7 ERA, I believe, something around there. The Royals, they don't have to go in feeling pressure or concerned or anything. All that's on the Yankees. The Yankees are the top seed. They're at home. The Yankees are supposed to win this series. That's what everyone is predicting and saying, right? The Royals are playing with house money. And when you play with house money, that makes you very, very dangerous. And I think the Royals can potentially upset them in Game 1 if they're not careful.
Couldn't agree more. I know the Yankees are the number 1 seed. I know they have superstars in that lineup, but I do think you can maneuver that lineup, especially with the pitching staff as good as the Royals have been. So let's talk about the future, because the Royals have every move they've made has been incredible, including getting Lucas Urseg to close games. I mean, how in the world do you get a guy like that at the trade deadline for as little as they had to give up? It's just amazing. They have the Midas touch. What needs to happen in this offseason to make sure that this isn't just a one-year wonder, a one-year blip? How do they build something sustainable?
I think the good thing that you've seen about this run is the fact that you have relievers that are emerging. You mentioned Lucas Urseg. He's going to be there to close game. Angel Zerpa, who had one of the best performances in Game 2. He comes in, bases loaded, 1 out. He gets a strikeout and he gets a ground out, and he comes back out the next inning, gets another 1+ out. I think he'll be someone that you can rely on in that bullpen. And look at what Chris Bubich has done, Sam Long has done, John Schreiber. All of those guys are still going to be under contract pretty much. So your bullpen is kind of shaping itself into be really strong and really great. I can't forget about Dale Lynch, the 4-2 in that bullpen. But to answer your question, I would say the Royals, I believe, need to add more offensive firepower. Maybe another outfielder that can give you consistency. You thought you had that with Hunter Renfroe this season, and he didn't really put up the year that we're accustomed to seeing Hunter Renfroe put up. You need someone to probably take one of those outfield spots, and you need more out of MJ Melendez and Michael Garcia. Those are 2 players at 2 spots where if they're going to be on this team long term, they have to be more productive.
Yeah, you mentioned the bullpen, and that's kind of where I was going. They were talking yesterday on the ESPN broadcast about how they've really reshaped the bullpen ever since kind of Ursay got there, and they've moved guys around and moved guys to the bullpen and let guys kind of settle in. I mean, another thing that's just been a move that worked perfectly. How much credit does J.J. Piccolo get around the league for what he's done this year? He's got to be Executive of the Year, doesn't he?
Yeah, I would be totally shocked if he does not win Executive of the Year. Just everything that he's done, he's pressed the right button at the right time. Even going back to getting Yuli Gurriel, Robbie Grossman, and Tommy Pham. Those 3 guys have come in, and while they may not have made a huge dividend in the stat sheet or in the win column, they just know how to play baseball, and they play well. And they have been here. They've been through these wars. They've been through these moments. A lot of fans have to realize that it's not just what you see on the field; it's off the field as well. Quick story: Will Smith. He wasn't on the wild card postseason roster, but his impact the entire year has been phenomenal. Michael Massey, he brought up a good story in the press conferences yesterday. He said, talking to Will Smith after the Royals had lost 7 straight, he's like, the good thing is we won't be able to lose tomorrow. And it was just like eye-opening in a perspective where it's like a lot of guys could have got down on themselves, and he's making a joke about losing 7 straight. But, hey, he's saying it's baseball. Everything's going to be okay. We'll bounce back. I think that kind of mentality, that kind of leadership has permeated the entire clubhouse, and that's really what's helped the Royals have that resiliency that they have now.
Well, we've kind of broken that game or the series down a little bit, but what would your prediction be in this series? And with that, what's your prediction in the other series, too, with Detroit and Cleveland?
With the Royals, I think they have a really good chance to beat the Yankees and be competitive. I think that if they're going to be successful, they have to win a game in New York and then take both games at home. Everybody says the K is a different experience, and I'm looking forward to see that. I think the Royals have the ability to do that, but like you said, they have to score runs. If they don't score against the Yankees, then the Yankees will probably win that series. Flipping over to the Tigers and the Guardians, it's so hard to predict an American League Central series, but Tigers have been so hot, and I just think that they might be just another team with destiny, and you might see them potentially move forward to the ALCS because you just don't play that hot and continue to move forward. Look at the Arizona Diamondbacks last year. They were a similar team that did the same thing. So I think my money will be on the Tigers against the Guardians.
Well, as you were saying all that, my son, Jeff, who is a co-host and a Guardians fan, was making some obscene gestures into the microphone.
I choked on my own spit, I think, for a second.
I apologize for that behavior.
Hey, I mean, Cleveland has a good team, but do they have enough starting pitching to counteract what the Tigers are doing right now? They're just really hot.
Well, it's going to be fun. I hope I'm going to read some reminiscing of the Yankees and Royals from the 70s from some of the members of the Star staff. I'm sure I will. They had some knockdown dragouts back in that time, and this might be another one. Jalen, thank you very much for fitting us in today.
For sure. Thank you, guys. I always got time for y'all. Y'all have been so great for me and so welcoming, and I can't wait to talk to you guys again.
All right.
Thank you, Jalen.
One of the nicest people we have on the show.
Definitely. Except for that last bit about the Tigers. That was just
He's
cruel.
just telling it like it is, and Duda set him up for it.
That's why I threw it up there.
You don't think Duda set him up for that?
Yeah, but
Absolutely.
come on,
But then
man.
what if he'd have said, I like Cleveland, he'd have been the smartest guy ever.
Biggest fan.
I would have destroyed him for that too.
This guy knows what he's talking about. Da, 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 da. I can only just imagine.
I think both series are very tough to pick.
They are tough.
That's why we're in postseason baseball.
Yeah, I'm gonna be sick.
Why?
I think I wasn't. I was trying to like downplay it in my brain, and it's like. But I'm going to be sick on Saturday. I really am. I'm going to be nervous. I'm not going to enjoy it. It's just it's too bad.
I don't get that.
I've tried to distance myself from it a little bit this year from an emotional, not this year, but the last month or so when I got off the Twitter and everything.
I don't understand that.
Yeah, I don't.
My team's been in a lot of playoffs. Not for the last couple years. But
And
I
I
always
can't
enjoy
do
it. Now,
heartbreak.
listen, it's nerve-wracking. I get it. But the 2011 postseason, the Cardinals were so fun to watch. They just got on one of those rolls. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Kind of like the Tigers are now. Jalen alluded to.
Well, and they are.
Tommy Thurber
just-
doesn't want to hear that.
I want to just bury the Tigers. No offense, Tommy, but some offense.
Wow. That's not a very nice thing to say.
How do you get so worked up like you don't even know if you want to watch the game now?
I'll watch it, but
You're
I'm
trying to bury
not
it.
going to enjoy it. That's the thing. I'm not going to enjoy it.
Won't you enjoy it if they score 4 in the first?
Not really. I'll be nervous the rest of the way.
Because then they'll be like, he'll just be sitting there, get to the bullpen, get to the bullpen.
There was one game you'll remember where the Cardinals scored about 10 in the first against Atlanta. Do you remember that game?
I do, yes.
That was so good. It took
can
away
imagine.
all the anxiety.
It wouldn't for me, but I get it.
10 in the first one?
No, not for him.
That's just a running inning, and they'll be right back in
You
it.
do not understand your son yet.
It's a little borderline crazy. I wanted to ask you guys, of course, we're on Twitter, which I question all the time, but this has gotten pretty widespread. I saw Randy Johnson, the big unit, tweet out about Orlando Arcia going over and hugging the Padre who had just doubled. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, I didn't watch that game last night.
Randy
I
Johnson,
actually saw that.
Randy Johnson doesn't put up with a whole lot, and he was just beside himself that a player whom you're trying to beat these guys, would go over and hug an opponent in a playoff game in a big spot. And I think about what Bob Gibson would have done. He might have killed them both.
Well, there's another way of looking at that. Does a hug mean I'm not trying to beat you? Is that what that means?
It's just the optics.
It's bad optics.
Hug after the game. Hug before the game.
What's
Not
the difference
during the
between hugging before and during the
Nobody
game?
sees it.
Yeah, they do. Everybody sees it. Their guys are on the field chopping it up, hugging, laughing. It's just
There's
what.
not 50,000 people in the stands, and there's not a 2 or 3 million watching.
I probably wouldn't have done it if I was.
Well, nobody would have hugged you.
Yeah, I got hugs on the field all the time, but that's something a little different. Yeah, I don't think I would have done it.
I'm not going there.
Don't even know what that means.
Not going there.
Stupid.
Yeah,
but it was bad.
It was like a Morgana situation, if that's what we're talking
Listen, I'm not a fan of that stuff.
of Morgana.
You're competing.
Oh,
Did you hug a lot of Did you hug a lot of players you played against
During the
on
game?
the ice?
No.
Of course you didn't.
No.
And in the playoffs,
No. Are you kidding me? You might go back to the locker room
But
and
did you
get beat up yourself from your own teammates.
but did you have lobster dinner afterward with the whole league?
imagine
Oh, if someone brought it.
imagine an NBA player hugging somebody in the throes of the Eastern Conference semifinals or something. I mean, it just looks bad. It's a bad look.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Well, then what are you doing?
Just, I'm not really anything. I'm not agreeing. I'm not.
What if a Guardian went over and hugged a Tiger?
I'd kill him.
After they doubled.
Oh, give me a hug. Great. That's a great at-bat.
But we'd never do that. Andres Jimenez might. He's kind of.
What would your reaction be?
If Jimenez did it, I wouldn't be that upset because he's just that kind of guy. I know he's trying to win. He's the best defensive player in baseball. But other guys that haven't proven that to me, that like if Brian Rocchio did it, I'd be beside myself. I'd be livid. Jose Ramirez would never ever do it.
Why?
Josh Naylor would never ever do it.
Right, because they understand. These guys are your friends on opposing teams to some degree. I don't know. I never had a friend on an opposing team. I had one. And you know what I did?
You hit him.
I threw right at him.
Oh, yeah, you're so tough.
I heard he hit 790 off you.
Nah,
Is that true?
Not with a broken arm, which he sustained.
After he had already hit 790 off you. That's why you hit him.
It's probably so.
Let's just be
I
honest.
had no friends.
I didn't like to.
And I was we're talking about the high school level.
I hated teams I played against too. I think that kind of came from you a little bit, but it also came from me. I didn't want anything to do with the other team, friends or not. But that's high school baseball. Nobody cares.
All right.
In the big leagues, it's different. I don't know how it's different, but it's just different.
We'll take a break, and I'll forever wonder what Brandon Clark would have answered.
I had a good question for him too, but
I really would love to know that. We'll get him on again. I'll forget.
He probably
what the
feels
question was.
insulted that we just hung up on him.
Well, no, Max explained it to him.
Did he though?
Of course he did.
Okay.
Why wouldn't he?
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
All right.
I hope the Tigers. I won't say it.
No, you don't.
Say it.
We'll be back. One more hour. We got picks coming up here soon. Stay with us.
Radio you can touch.
Showtime. Are you ready? I'm ready. Are you ready? Ready.
This is the Bob and Jeff Show, starring Bob Lutz,
Feels like old home week.
I know what you mean.
Jeff Lutz,
Definitely old home week when you're here.
I hear you loud and clear.
and Jason Duda. For today, anyway.
It's old home week?
Are you saying I'm old or that I should be in a home?
Yes.
Alrighty then.
97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Stand by for action.
Welcome back. Hour number 2 of Bob and Jeff. Woo! Just got done playing catch. Duda and Bob are still out there playing catch. I'm not sure if they're going to show up for hour number 2 or not. But it would be nice if maybe they came back. 869-1240, the IHOP hotline. All you can eat pancakes back at IHOP, believe it or not. And here come the two battered and bruised veterans. And I can still barely speak. What are you guys up to? Yeah, get your headsets
Run
on.
the show, man.
Yeah, I thought you're
So needy.
How do you needy what?
Hey, the IHOP hotline, pancakes.
How is that
Here
needy?
come the guy. I
How
mean,
is
do
that-
the show. Talk to the people.
Explain how that's needy.
Talk to the people.
Right.
I think it was fantastic.
Thank you. I thought I did a good job. I knew you were going to be back in 10 seconds. What am I going to accomplish in 10 seconds?
No,
You want me to
a little
do?
out of breath.
I don't want to talk about it.
I'm really out of breath.
Really? I'm the only one
Yeah,
in
I
shape
threw as
here?
hard as I could. That had to be at least 45, 50 miles an hour.
Who throws harder? The 70-year-old or the 41-year-old?
There's no way.
Dude, seriously, he was throwing it a lot harder.
There's no way.
You did throw a couple. I mean, next break, I'll double check.
Okay.
We'll go back out. I'll give you a chance
I'm
to actually
tired, though.
throw them.
I had a lot of throws already in my arm. You know what I'm saying? I'd made a lot of throws already.
But his answer
It
was
wasn't fresh.
me.
You only need one.
It was your answer, me.
As of right now, because we were just playing catch. I mean, you were
Looked
trying
like
to.
he was trying to throw it pretty hard there at the end.
He was.
No, I wasn't trying. That was the hardest I could
that's
throw.
basically all we got right now. It's pretty pathetic. We throw it and it was ow, oh.
It's not even ow. It's I have nothing. My arm is completely dead.
I know it's funny because I talk about dead arm and this and that, and I was always, well, what do you mean, like? And now I understand.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
There is
We're at
literally
the-
nothing
we're at
there.
the, We're at the Rudd Center doing the show today, and we have a baseball facility. That's why we were out playing catch. But I've played catch consistently throughout my entire life, up to this age, and it shows. Right? I mean,
honestly, he had a little, for a 70-year-old, you had a little zip for you.
No, he didn't.
I had a little zip for a 70-year-old.
I bet
I didn't throw 90 or anything, but I had
Oh,
to.
really? You didn't? I thought you were
It
throwing
popped
90
a little
out
bit.
there.
Did you hear his glove pop?
His glove barely fit on his hand. I would hope it would pop a little bit.
It looks like I still have it on.
It looks like he was just got finished
So
working on a
if
Mustang.
somebody asked me to throw a first pitch from 60 feet 6 inches, would I be able to do that?
Yeah, with a little lob in there.
I don't believe you would. When's the last time you made a throw that far?
I'll do it here.
No, you won't.
Oh yeah,
Of course I will.
we're gonna have to step this.
There's
off
no
during
even.
break.
There's no 60 feet 6 inch.
Of course there is.
I think that's too long. Or yeah, out
You
there's
know-
not long enough.
You wear your what's the word I'm looking for? Well, that's one. And your insecurity.
Insecurity.
Well, you don't like hearing that I throw harder than
Well,
you
because
do.
you don't. There's just no way. Physics wouldn't allow it. It would be embarrassing for me if that were true.
Would Duda be one? Wouldn't he say, "You don't throw hard"? He's all over
No,
me all the time.
I think for show purposes, he'd put that in your ear, drive me insane, and then here's a segment about it.
And I'm gonna give you an opportunity to.
I don't think I want to.
Well, let's ask. Tom was
Oops.
out there watching.
All I'm
Who
gonna,
in your mind threw harder, me or
And
Jeff?
remember, he was throwing from 9 feet.
True. That is true. That
I
is
got a little
true.
closer, but I'll go back there.
Okay. Well, we're gonna have to. We'll have to check. it
Yeah,
out.
I was farther back.
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you
I
this.
think I'm having a stroke right now.
I didn't hear any. I didn't hear any whizzing from the seams. Let me just say that. All right.
That's actually surprising.
Yeah, I
Let me
know.
ask you this: Who has the better arm at this stage of life?
I don't even. What does that even mean? How do you judge
Your
that?
arm. Yeah. How do you want?
I do.
Oh, you're pretty erratic.
Yeah, but I could throw farther.
How's my command when I
Command
throw?
was okay. Command was
Okay.
okay. Command was okay.
It's right there.
Well, if you want to say it's right there, that's fine.
I could throw farther than you on my worst day. Thank you.
Now, of course you could.
Yes. Now.
I don't know.
Not ever.
Now, then, forever together. Yes. Just all of it.
The shame of it is you have no idea what I
what?
was as a baseball player. I do have an idea of you because I saw it.
Yeah.
And frankly, but you never
Yeah.
saw. You were good,
Thank you.
but you never saw me. So what you're relying on is what I say.
What I'm relying on is, dang it, I can't really go there because
Go ahead, rely on it.
You could come back pretty easily.
Go ahead.
What I rely on is Cloud County, we kind of want you, I guess, in a way, sort of. But if you don't come, we won't be brokenhearted. Oh, you want to go do journalism? Darn it. Okay, well.
What offers did you get again?
That's what I said. You could come back.
I'm waiting.
Why didn't I?
What offer did you get?
Why didn't I get an offer to play
Because I got 2.
Answer me that question. I was an all-city player. I got 0 offers to go.
You left your junior year and people forgot about you.
How?
That's why.
Because you weren't there.
But I came back my senior year.
Yeah, nobody cared.
And was an all-city player.
Because North was really good.
I couldn't have gone to play
North
at Pratt.
had eyes on them in what would have been your junior year.
I couldn't have gone to play at
They
Dodge
had
City.
no eyes on them in your senior year.
That's it. That's all it takes.
I guess.
No, that's serious. That's all it takes. You just need somebody to see you.
And when you got a team that's in a state tournament, there's going to be people looking at you.
I wouldn't have gone, but I would have nice to have been courted a little bit, you know.
And I got
saw my
courted.
name in lights.
I actually got
that
courted.
Cloud County jersey.
I actually signed a letter of intent. I was
Really?
courted. I was taken to Dairy Queen.
I'm sure you were.
You
bad back
not
then.
bad, right?
That's a decent deal.
It's more than I got when I signed with the Thunder.
Unlike what our friend Antonio Pierce apparently did when he was at Arizona State. Did you read that story?
No, I did not.
The Raiders are as snake-bitten as an organization can get.
They're not snake bitten. They bring it on themselves. There's nothing that's
He
working
violated
against
every
them.
NCAA rule you can imagine. And now he's the coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. It's a travesty.
And he liked a post that suggested Devontae Adams shouldn't be with Las Vegas anymore. It is an absolute circus year after year after year with the Raiders.
And then we got guys like our friend Anthony Capra, who just puts up with it. What would you say to Cap?
Well, we say it all the time. What and why?
I mean, I get it. It's something that's been with you throughout your entire life.
Well, they lured you somehow. They had some attraction
because they used to be good. Do you remember that? You don't. Well, they had some moments.
Yeah.
But in the 70s, which is when it all happened for me.
Understood.
You understand that?
Yeah, I know.
Everything happened.
Everything. Literally your entire life.
You talk about being pursued.
Can be encapsulated within
And
not
60s.
even the entire 70s. It's probably 71 to 78. Probably.
Well, and don't forget the 60s.
I did.
But the Raiders were good. And I was drawn to them because they were a nemesis of the Chiefs, and I didn't want to be with the Chiefs. Too easy. You understand?
Now
that?
you like the Chiefs more than you like just about anybody.
I do like the Chiefs.
I know.
And I love it that Max is he'll pick these clowns New Orleans today.
Of course he will.
And he'll never do anything in these picks.
It's more important for Max to hate the Chiefs than it is to win the picks. That is not how I'd operate under anything. I want to
the
win.
way I operate is to try to win the picks.
I always want to win, of course.
I've had a horrible year. Hopefully I turn it around a little less.
Doesn't really matter. I'm running away with this.
That's so early. I don't know what you guys are even worried about.
It's going to get...
You said that last year and you never got it.
It's going to get late for you very early.
No,
it's already kind of late for you.
Just wait. No, I'm not concerned about it whatsoever.
Why would you
one
be?
thing that's been proven on this show, you're terrible at picking games.
Maybe you should be concerned about it.
I should maybe just pick one game and that's it, because then I'd be good.
Apparently
Give
not.
my one pick for the weekend, and then people.
Well, maybe
will be
that's
happy.
what you ought to do.
Maybe that's what I should start doing.
Put $1,000 on it.
Can I borrow $1,000? I only got to borrow it once. By the way, that's it. I just need it one time, and then away I go.
There are games that you think, man, that's
and then you'll have the grand you've paid
that's
it back.
such an easy one. If I just put $10,000 on that, I'd be.
I know it's hard.
You'd lose.
No,
you know you'd lose.
You give it to me, I'll win. If I use my own, I'd lose.
Ooh, really?
Yeah.
All right. If I do that, you're giving me half of it back.
Okay.
But if I lose it, you're paying the whole baby.
Dude,
you agree?
Absolutely not. Well,
I don't
most
know why you
outlandish idea. Actually, yeah, I'll do that. Let's do that. Let's try it once.
Caitlin Clark named Rookie of the Year in the WNBA. No shock. She's had an incredible run. And then the trade finalized Julius Randle.
Right.
And Devontae DiVincenzo.
Dante DiVincenzo.
To the
Timberwolves.
To the Timberwolves for Karl Anthony Towns. How do you like that trade?
I don't really understand it. I don't really understand it from either side, to be honest.
Timberwolves are trying to create a situation where they turn over the reins completely to
Anthony Edwards.
Yeah.
But they still have Naz Reid and Rudy Gobert as big guys. Now they're bringing in Julius Randle. I just don't understand how that really helps. You get DiVincenzo as a wing player. That's good. I just don't know if either team got better out of this trade. It just seemed it's splashy and it's blockbuster. It makes headlines.
I like the Wolves.
Yeah, it's easy to like the Wolves, but it's still three big men.
Well, you can only play one or two of them at a time.
Maybe they're going to change it up. Maybe they're going to throw them all three out there and just see what happens.
You never know.
Why not?
Maybe they will.
They got close last year.
I feel like you need to give Naz Reid more minutes, not keep him as the sixth man. And
we'll see. I like big trades like that.
Of course.
We can break them down, whatever. But I like the fact that they're trying.
Remember when the Pacers traded for Pascal Siakam?
Yeah, what about it?
That was a big trade.
Brandon Clark really wanted to answer my question.
What did he say?
So that's one of the best questions you've asked. Better than some of Jeff's. And then then he stopped texting.
That's too bad.
It's such a load of crap.
But I'm the insecure one.
What's wrong with you? What's wrong with it?
Because that's not what he didn't say that. That's what's
Do you
wrong.
not pay attention to this show?
That's what's wrong with it. Yeah, but not when it's somebody else. If it's us, then it's fine. But you can't say that.
I'll throw
Clark
Brandon
said that.
under the bus.
Oh yeah, you tossed him underneath there.
Doesn't affect me at all.
Sure.
You'll sleep just fine, I'm sure.
He said he'll answer it in his next interview.
Yeah, I got another good one for him also.
What do you have?
I'm not going to reveal that here.
Okay, yeah, I better keep that quiet.
I really like him.
And everyone will go run it to him.
You know,
with
I
this
like
question.
most of the people we have on the show, right? I mean,
Name the ones
so
that.
for me to say I really like him doesn't really carry a lot of meaning because I really like all the guests we have.
Okay, there.
Yes,
that's better.
He said
But
yes.
You said most of for a second, and then what does that open you up to?
Well, Weston.
Nobody cares about the people you do like. We want to know who you don't like.
I like everyone.
Okay.
I like all these people who take time to come on.
We've never had really.
But I enjoy Brandon Clark because here's a humble guy. In all this success he's had, none of it's gone to his head. He's as determined to help kids as he's ever been, and I admire that. I admire him.
I helped edit his book.
Nobody cares.
You think I got taken the Dairy Queen for that? Sure didn't.
Well, no, why would you?
When you edit my book, I'll take you to Dairy Queen.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll never forget that recruiting trip to Concord.
They really took you to Dairy Queen? No.
I think we had lunch in the student center or whatever it was.
Yeah, because that existed.
Well, no. What do you mean it didn't
Student
exist?
center?
Well, at Cloud County? Tom went. Tom knows. Tom
Was there food to eat in the student union? Really? Maybe when you were there, but not when Bob was there. That was way too long ago. They weren't doing that.
Well, he just had to go get out of the
There were
garden
no
and
amenities.
truck back.
Exactly.
So he was there.
Sure.
I mean,
Just
it
had to
was
get it
5 of
himself.
us from Derby. 4 of those guys played at Cloud Community College. I'm the one that said no.
Always marching to the beat of your own drum.
Well, that's what he's telling us. Maybe
Well,
they
I
only
mean,
had room for 4.
I figured it was a better idea to.
Actually, we filled out our staff, Bob, after these 4 guys signed. But we appreciate
Who recruited you
We
again?
appreciate you coming down.
Who recruited you again?
We'll keep you on speed dial.
Oh, you're going to hang with that?
Yeah,
huh?
we're rolling with that.
Did you ever visit a college or junior college?
For baseball? Trying to think. I'm trying to think. It was a long time ago.
The answer to that would be no. Right?
That's too bad. I'm calling out every coach. Kevin Olwellig, you didn't recruit me. Who are some of the other guys back then?
I don't have
Who was
any
at
idea.
Friends back then?
I don't remember.
I want
Mark
to call
Carvalho.
him Mark Carvalho. You don't want to be meeting me in a dark alley. I'll tell you that.
I'm sure he's frightened. I don't even know the man.
Listen, you didn't rise. You didn't have it.
What do you mean?
I had it.
I didn't have it.
You didn't.
I didn't want it, but I sort of had it.
You didn't want it, but I
Not
sort
really.
of had it.
I was
and
okay.
I can't believe that no one came calling out.
I was an all-city player.
That's exactly what you just said.
I was an all-city player. I feel like even if I didn't want it at all, someone would be intrigued by that enough to say, hey, do you want to come play here?
Maybe they knew by your actions and how you carried yourself on the field that he really doesn't want to play.
Or maybe, maybe you're
my actions were
kicked out of games, and maybe that got around a
that's
little.
Overblown. All that's overblown.
Maybe your good friend and our good friend, Coach Kyle Sanders, when he got a call about you, said, I don't think you want him.
Do you think he dissuaded people?
He's a knucklehead.
Well, then, Kyle Sanders, you don't want to be meeting me in a dark alley, sir.
I hope he's listening right now. That would be so great. Let's take a break.
Already?
We always need a little extra time to make our picks. Hopefully we can stir Anthony and get him going, because right now he's in second place and the week's winner.
Wouldn't want to have to forfeit.
He got the bonus game last week for 10.
I know. We talked about that. Good for him.
We will be back with picks. Stay with us.
This is the Bob and Jeff Show.
Okay, here we go. Let's make our pick. Let's start in the college ranks, as we always do. And it's tough to find 5 really good games, actually 6, now that we picked 9. Missouri at Texas A&M, a battle of ranked teams. Missouri ranked higher, but they are a underdog on the road by 2.5 points. I'll start here. I think Mizzou is more real than people think. 6 points on the Missouri Tigers.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how real Missouri is. They've struggled in games maybe they shouldn't have struggled in. I expected to have more points on Missouri this week, but when it came down to it, I only have them for 1.
What about you, Duda? Who you got here?
Not a fan of this one. Not a fan of a bunch of these games. I'm going to take A&M at home for 1.
Max?
Yeah, A&M isn't. Mizzou is for real. I'll take Mizzou for 5.
He sees it more like I do, which I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. Let's get to Anthony, who won the week last week, got his bonus game for 10. You ought to be gloating a little bit. Puff your chest out.
Yeah, I got my chest stuck out, so I told y'all what was going to happen. Anyway, I really don't want to do this, but I'm going to do it because the fact that when I see Missouri play, it kind of brings back memories of some uniforms that Wichita State used to have, and it kind of makes me sick. But I'm going to go with a team that looks like what Wichita State would have looked like had they been playing football. So I'm going to take Missouri and 3 confidence points.
3 confidence points on Missouri. Next is Michigan at Washington, a rematch of the national championship game. Neither team is at that level. Washington at home, a 2.5-point favorite. Jeff.
These picks are presented by FanDuel, America's #1 sports book, and an official sports betting partner of KFH. Now, this one's pretty easy for me. It seems like once Michigan went to orgy, a lot of the guys and the girls, they kind of rallied and huddled and kind of grouped around him. Everybody got real excited. And there's rising tension within the Michigan. You just don't know when it's going to just kind of explode. And I think this might be that game. I have Michigan for 5 points.
No wonder Jeff's going to be over 100 after this week.
I have no idea what you just said.
Well, it's okay. The rest of us did. Anyways.
Duda.
I got it, Jeff. I'm with you. It's okay. I'm going with Washington for 5.
Max.
Even though Tom went there and Davey, who does the Peach reviews, loves Michigan, they're on the road. I'm taking Washington for 3.
Oof. Washington for 3. Big fella Anthony, what do you think?
Man, I don't know, man. We got Jeff talking about orgies and everything.
Wait, whoa, Anthony. Easy, buddy. We're talking football here.
Well, I'm oh, man, it's a good time to take a break right now. No, but I'm going to go, let me see. This is a rematch of the title game, and like Bob said, neither one is at that level. Something about me, I don't trust Washington, though. So I'm going to go with Michigan and all the girls and guys rallying, and I'm going to say 2 confidence points.
Good pick, Anthony. I like that.
I'm going to pick Washington.
We're together in that one.
At home, but for only 1. I don't like that game. Next, we have a Big 12 matchup.
How are you this oblivious? All right.
I'm not oblivious. I just don't like, childishness.
Okay.
I'm not a proponent of it.
Okay, that's fine. That's cool.
I'm an adult. I'm a mature adult, and
Clearly.
I don't do those things.
Okay, that's fine.
Texas Tech at Arizona. Arizona at home, a 6.5-point favorite. Duda starts us.
I'm going to take Arizona. I think they're going to win this one, but I don't like this one either. So Arizona for 2.
What games are you going to like?
Oh, you just wait, kid. Max?
So it's NFL.
I think 6.5 is too much. I think Texas Tech can at least get within a field goal, so I'll take them for 2.
Texas Tech for 2. Anthony.
Oh, who in the world in their right mind would take Texas Tech for anything? Going up against Arizona. In Arizona, there's a swarm defense revisited. I'm going with Arizona and 5 confidence points.
I'm kind of with you, Anthony. I think Arizona's a pretty darn good team. I'm not as convinced about Texas Tech. I like Arizona for 5 as well. Jeff.
I must be really downplaying Texas Tech because I don't really understand the spread at all. I think Arizona wins this game by double digits. I've got Arizona for 8.
That's your 8-pointer.
That's my 8-pointer. I just don't get the spread. I don't understand it.
Tennessee, the Vols, on the road to play Arkansas. Tennessee giving 13.5 points to the home team, the Razorbacks. Max?
Yeah, Arkansas is not going to. 13.5 is a lot, but I'm going with Tennessee for 7.
Tennessee for 7. Anthony, what do you think?
I mean, that is a road game for Tennessee, but Tennessee has proven that, hey, if we can go to Norman and knock them boys off, we can go into Arkansas and knock them off. So I'm going to go 6 on the confidence points on Tennessee.
Tennessee for 6. I also like Tennessee. Although the road to the SEC is always a little bit dicey, I like Tennessee for 4. Jeff?
I'm right there with you. I actually have Tennessee also for 4. No real reason. I just think they're better. They're more prepared to make a deeper run here.
What about you, Duda?
Well, Tennessee is better. There's no question about that. But the problem is that they're on the road giving away 2 touchdowns. And with the fact that you guys all think that Tennessee's going to cover this, it's easy. Arkansas for 4.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
See, he just changes on the fly.
No.
Has no conviction.
Got Arkansas. I've had Arkansas down the whole time.
You got him down there, huh?
Why do you think I'm looking at it?
What are you looking at?
The games and my numbers.
I don't see your numbers on. I don't see your numbers on there.
No, I'll show you it after.
Iowa in a Big Ten battle, visiting Columbus to face Ohio State. The Buckeyes, 19.5 points. That's how much they're favored by. Anthony, you start this one.
Oh, okay. So, well, in times past, I would go like 8 points on Ohio State. I would actually do that. But Iowa has shown that they have a propensity for scoring points this year.
It's a good word.
As opposed to the last few years when they couldn't buy points, even when they had Laporta as a tight end. So I'm going to go on the confidence side. I'm going to say Iowa with 1 confidence point, though. That spread is too big.
Interesting. And pretty well thought out.
It was.
Certainly better than anything we normally hear on this show. I've got, boy, this is a tough one. Now Anthony's got me second-guessing myself.
You should just keep with what you wrote down. Don't let anybody change your mind.
I'm going to go Ohio State for 3. Jeff.
This is tough. Anthony talks about Iowa scoring points. I think if they have the best day of their lives, they get maybe 20 in this game. Maybe. They're more likely to fall in the 10 to 17 range.
And they have a really good defense.
So does that mean, so can Ohio State score 30, 35? Yeah, I'm going to say yeah. I'm going to bet that they can. Ohio State for 6.
Why you go through all the rigmarole? Duda.
You liked it when Anthony did it.
I'll come out, but he was speaking intelligently.
That's fair.
What do you have?
You just want my pick then?
No, I want you to break it down.
Give us some rigmarole.
Why would I break it down? It's Iowa.
Ohio State's a boat to explode.
Go ahead.
No.
Iowa State? I think they're playing
Whatever.
Iowa.
Make a pick.
Oh, jeez. It runs so long sometimes. Iowa for 3.
What's your reasoning?
I just wanted to pick it and get her going.
What about you, Max?
19 and a half's too many points. I'm going Iowa for 8. They can keep it in there.
How many points, Max?
8.
Man, 35-10, though.
You feel good about that now, Duda?
Yeah.
Max hadn't got an 8-pointer.
Max is one of the smartest guys here.
Okay.
Kansas visiting Tempe to face the Sun Devils of Arizona State. A late game. Arizona State giving 2.5. I start here. Boy, I got to see it from KU, and I haven't yet. I like Arizona State in this game for 2. Jeff.
We're the same again on this one. I also have to see it. I can't, in good conscience, continue to pick KU like I have for the past couple weeks. I've got Sun Devils 2.
What about you, Duda?
You don't even have to ask. You know exactly where we're going back to. Until they show me something, Arizona State
8.
for 8.
For 8.
I can't really argue with that pick.
Come on, Jay.
It's a good pick.
That's a good pick.
It's a good pick.
Will
Max,
it work out? Who knows? But
I
it's
don't
a good
know,
pick.
but it could.
Max, what do you got?
I want to know where KU Pat's been. I'm going with Duda. I'm Arizona State for 6.
Anthony, you making it a sweep?
No, I'm actually going to go against the grain.
Wow.
I'm going to say KU and 4 confidence points.
4 points on the Jayhawks. Now we get into our 3 NFL games, Buffalo and Houston. That's the bonus game. I've made it a pick 'em because that's about what it is. Houston at home. We start with Jeff.
This was the last game I wrote down my pick for. I kind of meditated on it. I waited kind of for a sign from God himself. And God told me, Jeffrey, Buffalo, and 4. It's a cautious guy.
I hope God has better things to do.
Yeah, if he's helping,
He's omnipotent.
If he's helping you in your meditation state, we know that it really wasn't the real God. So obviously that's wrong.
Well, we'll see. won't we?
Houston at home, Buffalo did not look good last week. I don't think they go into Houston and win. I got Houston for 10.
Well, Houston looked terrible the week before. And by the way,
and not great against Indianapolis either.
no, they haven't really looked that good yet.
Houston for 10.
Buffalo had 3 games where they looked really good. Max.
Josh Allen is the man. He made a throw last week, running,
every
throwing
week.
across. He's the man.
No, the man is Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, please, yeah. Hard to beat them in the refs. Bills for 6.
Anthony.
You know, this is a tough game to call because Buffalo really hasn't looked all that bad until they took on a team that had a running back named Derrick Henry. And, I mean, they're going to make a lot of teams look bad. So I'm going to say going into Houston is kind of iffy. But I'm going to actually roll with Buffalo on this one. And
How many points?
8. I'm going Buffalo at 8.
Wow. Trying to make a difference.
He might
I think
make
this
a
is
crack.
a really tough game because Buffalo has they have it in them to be really good. Houston has it in them to be really good. Both teams have had a clunker that resulted in a loss. I think this is tough. I'm going to pick Houston for only 5.
That's not really an only. 5 is a lot.
New York Jets on the road at Minnesota. The Vikings, a 2.5-point favorite. We start this one with Duda.
Look, nobody saw Minnesota with this start. Nobody saw the Jets with this start. So are they going to switch around just this week? I don't think so. So I'm going to run with Minnesota. Minnesota for 7.
I disagree with you that nobody saw the Jets like this. I
thought they'd be a little better than they would be.
But Max?
This pains me, but the Jets have a good defense, and they'll be out to punish Sam. So I'm taking the Jets for 1.
Anthony?
This is one of those good games that you want to grab a bag of popcorn and grab a seat, but you only need the edge of it. And Aaron Rodgers.
Boy, Anthony, you're on a roll right now.
You really are. This is crazy.
And Aaron Rodgers actually has some history against a Brian Flores-led defense. In other words, he's about the only one that's been able to conquer it. So this might be the game we see Minnesota gets hung out with a loss, finally. Not that, I have a dog in this fight, but Aaron Rodgers knowing how to play against a Brian Flores-led defense. I'm going to go with the Jets. And let me see here. What do I have left on the table?
7.
7 confidence points.
You don't sound that confident.
Well, he's got another one left, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah. You got, let's see here. You got 7 and 8
on the
left.
Buffalo Houston.
Well, but that's the bonus pick. So
okay.
You could go 8. We're going to be out of time here.
That's
8 or 7.
I'm roll the dice. I'm going to go for 8. I'm going to roll the dice and go 8 on New York Jets.
All right. I'm going to go exactly the opposite and roll 8 on Minnesota. This is not the game they no. Jeff.
Anthony's been real close to talking me out of Ohio State and now to almost talking me out of this pick, which are 2 big numbers. So I'm scared, but I'm rolling with it. Minnesota for 7.
Boy, Anthony got me thinking, too.
Of course, it's impressive that you got these two thinking, not that it takes
nobody
a lot. But
could
good job, Anthony.
Nobody could get you thinking.
No, I'm good. Doing just fine here.
New Orleans. Visiting Arrowhead to face Kansas City. Sometimes I just crack myself up.
Yeah.
Kansas City, 5.5 points in this game. The Saints, after their blistering start, have lost a couple in a row. We start with Max.
Derek Carr's been there. Alvin Kamara will run over these guys. Saints for 4 in the fleur-de-lis.
Have you ever gotten a game right involving the Chiefs?
They never cover. They don't cover. And, it's hard to beat them and the refs, too, since Goodell commands them to give them every call you can possibly give them.
Anthony, what do you have?
I have yet to see any proof where you're playing against the Chiefs and the refs. I have yet to see any proof of that. So
watch the Super Bowl. Watch the last 2 Super Bowls. Anytime there's a big play, suddenly there's a pass interference. Oh, what happened?
Oh, they just came.
That's because it was. Go ahead, Anthony. We need to get through this.
Anyway, I do not see the Saints rolling in Kansas City. Of course, the Chiefs, they've just been finding ways to win. So this is the one game. 5.5 actually seems reasonable. So I'm going to use my 7th spot on Kansas City.
Max, who wins the game outright, Chiefs or New Orleans?
Hard to beat the refs.
So you're saying the Chiefs win,
Probably,
but
yeah.
only because of the
They
ref.
did. They did. Ask Philadelphia
got for
about
Mac,
ask
Duda?
Philadelphia about the football. Ask Philadelphia about the last Super Bowl and the 49ers.
I like the Chiefs in this one as well, and I'm putting 7 points on this game. Jeff?
That's a lot. I don't feel that, but you said, and it's been around, that the Chiefs have won 9 straight by a total of 54. That's 6. They need to win by 6 here. I'll say they'll do it. Chiefs for 3.
And finally, Jason Duda.
Well, I agree with that logic, Jeff, but the problem is they've lost Rashee Rice. Pacheco's gone. That's worth about a point.
They're going to have Christian Kirk in the lineup Sunday.
I got a feeling that New Orleans is going to come in and play them tight. It's going to be a 3-point game. I got New Orleans for 6.
All right, there you go. That's the long version of our picks. We have just a few minutes left in the show today. What was accomplished?
We did picks.
You got to turn your mic on.
We found out who throws harder.
Say it again.
We did picks.
There you go. I heard you that time.
You can't really hear in these headsets. They're not turned up.
They're a little tougher to hear.
Well, I hear just
They're
fine.
not louder than the person's voice. You know what I'm saying?
I hear just fine in them.
No, you hear us talking.
No, I hear in my headset. We had Brandon Clark on. I heard him perfect.
That's what I'm saying. But if he had been in the room, his voice in the room would have been louder than the headset. So you hear the voice over the headset.
Well, I don't know about that.
I
like
agree
the
with
headset.
that. I would agree with that.
I think the headset has been perfect.
We have 2 opinions that state otherwise.
Yeah, I don't really get involved in other people's opinions.
We know.
Yes.
What does that mean? Expand on that a little bit.
You asked me what dates I'll be gone from the show, and I'll give them to you right now.
Why? The listeners don't care.
October 14th,
Maybe they do.
17th, and 18th.
Whoa.
So everybody get ready.
That's a long time.
Well, that's like
You're gonna
right
be
around
out-
the corner. What's going on
Are you
with
going to
that?
be in Vegas for a week?
No, but I have a concert in Denver that I'm going with my daughter to on the 13th, which is a Sunday. So we won't be back by
What
Monday.
about the 15th?
15th and 16th, I'll be here.
Yeah.
You're driving back?
From Colorado? Yeah, because we're flying to Vegas.
Well, why wouldn't you just fly from Denver?
That's a great question because my wife can't take that much time off work. It's book fair week and conferences, man. She can't just...
Well, I don't understand how any of that's happening.
You don't?
No.
I'm going to the Sphere, man.
I hope it's all you want it to be.
I already know it is.
Oh, jeez. I can only imagine when you get back.
We'll see.
We'll hear about it.
Same songs.
He said they're doing different ones and changing it up. We'll see if they'll change it up by October or not. Maybe they will. Maybe every month will be different. You never know.
No, you do know. That's
No, I
the
don't.
problem.
He said
you
that.
always know. When you're
God's not
77,
gonna lie.
you'll say anything.
God's not going to lie to me, especially to me.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I hope it's what you want.
Thank
I
you.
hope it's what you want it to be.
It is, and I
Hope
appreciate
you have
that.
a good time. Dude, are you available those days?
I don't know.
Well, you'll have to check it out.
Sure. I'll get back to you.
What's happened to your mood?
I'll get back to you.
Well, we've all thrown our arms out today.
Sore.
We're throwing our bodies out.
I was out
What do you mean we've all?
Yeah, you're struggling. I see it in your face.
I don't know. I feel okay.
My arm doesn't hurt, but man, I'm tired.
I had a long night last night. Morning.
My house.
Shout out to the. I gotta have a quick shout out to the May seniors for winning the Powder Puff game last night.
Way to go, May seniors.
Scored with no time left to win
big
21-14. It was unbelievable.
Big game.
It was exciting. The cheerleading at halftime was fantastic. It was great.
Just a wonderful effort by the May seniors.
Actually, it was. I had a blast.
Good.
Great. It was fun for you.
I enjoyed it.
Your kids are getting to that age now. You better enjoy it.
Don't have a choice.
Are parents supposed to go to things like that?
It was. There's so many people there. It was ridiculous. We were looking around like, what is going on?
I don't think I went to Andale's.
Some of the freshmen that came up, they're like, is there something else going on tonight?
I coached the Powder Puff game.
Yeah,
and won it.
You drew up
with the juniors against the seniors, and
why didn't you win it the next year?
I didn't coach the next year.
Why?
I retired.
You would.
Yeah.
That's just like you
You'll
quit
one
while
and
you're
done,
ahead.
One and done.
You win it, you move on.
Or if you'd lost it, you would have quit. It's the same thing.
Why are you so bitter and angry? All I mentioned was that I coached a powder puff game.
Well, I just think that sheds a lot of light on your current personality.
Okay, good. You know my wife listens to this show, right?
Debbie, your husband is a bad sport.
Unbelievable.
Is it
All
really?
right. It's good to see our friend Tom Thurber, all the way from Daphne, Alabama.
No, I can't even look you in the eye when I'm fake insulting you.
I know you can't because you know I'll knock. Thanks for listening, everybody. It'll be Jeff and DMH tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
As I take a day off. We'll see you soon.